He helped Hillary Clinton carry South Carolina during the 2016 Democratic presidential primary. In this special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I speak exclusively with Clay Middleton. Clay!
Yes, sir.
It is so good to see you.
Same here. Good to see you again.
Yes,
no
sir.
problem. Thanks for the opportunity.
Oh, anytime. Well, let me start off with the obvious. You said the following on Facebook a couple of days ago, quote, "Fact checkers will be in high demand over the next 4 years." Tell me this, what are you fact checking right now?
Everything that comes out of the Trump administration, especially from the president himself, because as some of his aides would like to call it, alternative facts is what they would be presenting. I've always been taught we could have various interpretations of reality or opinions, but not of facts. And I think it's going to be very critical that as mistruths and flat out lies come out of this administration, it's incumbent upon individuals to just come out with the facts of the situation.
You also said this on Facebook, quote, "The popular vote doesn't elect our president, but it does speak to the support that Hillary Clinton message is what most agreed with." So, what's your message to those who didn't really agree with Hillary Clinton's message and actually voted for Donald Trump?
Well, we live in a free society where people can make their own choices. What I was saying there is, let's not forget, because you heard a lot of talk about the lack of enthusiasm among Clinton supporters or the American public in general as it relates to supporting her. So I was just pointing out that our Constitution calls for the Electoral College, but let's not forget that Hillary Clinton received nearly 3 million more votes than Donald Trump. So I don't think that's a lack of enthusiasm, nor is it a lack of interest in her message and vision that she put forth during this campaign.
You also said this, and this just obviously last week, Friday, quote, "Grace is on full display by Hillary Clinton, the right example of being a leader and confident in what one believes. Hashtag, I'm still with her." What do you think she's still believing in right now?
Well, she's going to continue to be engaged because this is, she lost the election, but that does not mean she's going to give up on America, nor the ideals that she fought so hard for, not only this campaign, but throughout her entire adult career in life. So let us not forget that she did not have to. She was under no obligation to attend the inauguration, and for her to still be there at the inauguration and afterwards attended the luncheon that is held as well. She was there for everything. And I think that speaks volumes of her character. And I think if the roles were reversed, Donald Trump would not have been there.
The Obama years. You said the following, quote, "Blessed for the Obama years. Up to us to keep building and fighting for what is just, pure, and right. Onward towards a more perfect union." So what will you continue to build on? What will you continue to do?
So one of the things that we talked about throughout the Obama time in the White House is he provided change to this country from where we were in 2008 when he took over January of 2009. And then in 2012, we needed to guard against the changes that he has made. And I think now we must continue to do that because Donald Trump would have, in fact, in a couple of weeks, he's going to put forth his nominee for the Supreme Court.
Right.
So when we look at the Supreme Court and when we look at other lifetime appointments that he would make to the bench throughout the country, it's very critical that individuals do their best to speak out against having people that are going to turn back the clock on a lot of the progress that President Obama has made and that this country has made when we look at civil rights and human rights and women's rights collectively.
Emotions. You said the following, quote, "This is really happening. No need to be mad, frustrated, or bewildered. Be engaged, focused, and determined to be part of the solution." So what is the solution from here on out? I know you mentioned a little bit about it earlier.
Yeah. Well, the solution is we cannot, listen, I've been a minority all my life, so I'm used to disappointments.
Okay.
But I'm also a hopeful person because the state that we live in, South Carolina, motto is while I breathe, I hope. So I will continue to work hard and encourage others to do the very same thing. And it was on full display with the Women's March throughout not only this country, but the world, that we must be vigilant, we must stay focused, and we must not be silent in the opposition of policies and politics that are going to provide us an alternative that we know is not in the best interest, not only of ourselves, but our children. So it's very important that we keep that in mind. We cannot go on Facebook and go on Twitter and tweet and say things without doing some kind of action. And I don't think it's enough action for folks just to like something or retweet something. I think they actually have to get out there and engage with individuals in conversation, in dialogue, in debate, and let's work on solutions. Because I always believe, from my time working for Congressman Clyburn, but also just holding on to his style, is there are 5 steps between my opponent and I. And one thing Congressman Clyburn always said, I'm willing to take 3. So I'm willing to sit down with anyone because I believe we do have things we agree on, and things that where we agree on, we can build on that. Things we don't agree on, let's just put that aside and let's get something done.
Speaking of which, South Carolina, as you know, last night Henry McMaster became the next governor of South Carolina, 117.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Nikki Haley will become the next United States ambassador to the Union. What do you make of all of this?
That Henry McMaster is a great politician in order to recommend that Governor Haley become the next UN ambassador. Look, this is great times for our country, our state. I would say great in terms of some uncertainty, but elections have consequences, good or bad, and I would say that congratulations to Governor Haley. At the end of the day, we want her to do well because she is a native of South Carolina, and she is our former governor. So we do not want her to be an embarrassment because that would speak ill of those we have in our state, and potentially prevent others from having the opportunity to serve at a high level. So we don't wish her any ill will. We wish her and her family a great venture in this new endeavor.
17 years later, you said the following quote, January 6, 2000 was a good day. 17 years later, I'm still glad I'm joining the South Carolina National Guard.
Yeah.
Looking forward to many more years of serving my country, state, and community in uniform. Hashtag duty, proud, honor.
Yeah.
Where are you still emotionally, 17 years later?
Well, I have still the same desire that I did 17 years ago when I joined the military.
Yes.
Same excitement. I would say that around that 8-9 year mark, I was actually going to get out because it was no longer fun. I felt I wasn't being challenged, and I just wasn't into it. And then I had a conversation with a friend, a colleague, a peer of mine, and he convinced me to have a conversation with the battalion commander, and I did, and that's when the opportunity came for me to be a company commander. For the most part, I have no regrets. And 17 years into this, having deployed to Iraq, having served on the border with an order that President Bush started, Operation Jumpstart.
Right.
So look, I have had a great career, and I'm looking forward to my having 17 more wonderful years. My mandatory retirement date is 2031.
Wow.
So as long as health remains strong,
Oh,
then I'm looking forward to retiring from the military in 2031.
Yes, indeed. Family. Your wife actually said this on Facebook, quote,
Oh, Lord.
we are expanding our home by 2 feet.
Yeah.
Baby boy coming in March 2017. Okay, is your heart? Where is your mind knowing that, hey, you're going to have another addition to your family?
Yeah, I need to stay focused. Let's stay focused. And, yeah, the good thing is when our first son Jeremiah was born, he was born 3.5 weeks before the Clinton campaign officially started. I remember being in the hospital with my wife, actually on a conference call with those that were volunteering with the campaign as we look to move forward. And I got off the call because, you know, she gave me a look and it was that time. But nonetheless, I can look back, since I missed a lot of that time being a part of this campaign for 20 months. I would say that I'm looking forward to being the example of my current son and future son that would be here soon, because I don't want any of them and those that are like them, same age, born this time, to question where their parent role was in this 2016 election. That's going to determine a lot of what the early years of their life would look like.
You talk about that campaign. I remember obviously interviewing you in my beloved Columbia, and at the time you were working hard on the Hillary Clinton campaign, and obviously you helped carry South Carolina with her. What was that day like for you when you got the news that Hillary Clinton won the South Carolina Democratic primary?
I was very happy. We worked hard in that effort. I was fortunate enough to have the faith and confidence of Secretary Clinton to be her state director, and I'm very fortunate of the team we were able to assemble and the amount of volunteers and longtime supporters of the Clintons really came through. So we were very happy to play a role in securing her path to being the nominee. And unfortunately, we fell short in the general election.
Right.
But if Secretary Clinton could stay focused and stay engaged and stay active, so could I. So could all of her supporters. And I think here locally in South Carolina, and in particular in Charleston, there are some bright spots that we can be proud of, and certainly opportunities to grow.
You talk about Charleston. You know, obviously I talk to people all the time,
Yeah.
and when I mention you, they think of maybe the next mayor of Charleston. But what is your future? I mean, you got another child on the way.
Yeah.
So what's next for you?
Well, I'm gonna stay active and engaged in politics and the political process and public policy.
Okay.
There's no secret that I want to run for public office again. What that is, I'm not sure today, but I also know that as long as people see that you're active and working on solving problems and creating opportunities for others, that's all they really want.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that I don't need a title. I don't need to be an elected official to make a difference in people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as I focus on making a headway and not headlines, I hope that when the time comes that the public would give me that opportunity. And if not, that's fine. When you are a public servant, you serve at the pleasure of the public, whether that is an elected official or not.
Wow. Clay Middleton, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you.